There was a hot time in the old town of Green Bay, Wisconsin, as a capacity crowd saw some sizzling football between the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears, despite the exhausting 84-degree weather. Midway in the first period with the 47th, George Blanda tries a field goal. The attempt falls short into the arms of Ray Pelfrey. Pelfrey comes up to the 17. He's hit hard, fumbles, and the Bears regain possession of the ball. Bob Williams, for the fame at Notre Dame, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and tries for yardage around the left end, but is trapped for a 5-yard loss. Once again, the Bears line up for a try at splitting the uprights, this time from the 22. Whizzer White boots, the ball sails high, and it's a 3-point tally for the Chicagoans. And it wasn't until late in the second stanza, with the Bears in their own goal line, that things started to happen again. Fred Morrison punts. The ball is blocked, and the Packers take over on the 5. After a line buck which fails and an incomplete pass, quarterback Tobin Rote fakes a toss, dashes around right end, just making the corner of the pay dirt patch. The extra point was good to score at the half. Green Bay 7, Chicago 3. The main third period action started on the Packer 39 with the Bears in possession. Morrison gets the nod and crashes through left tackle for a 16-yard gain. 2 plays later, after a penalty, set the ball back on the 36 with a short one to Bill Whitekin to regain 9 precious yards. Another running play failed to produce, so once again to the air lanes with Williams tossing into the flat, hitting John Dopley on the 28. Then look at that boy as he goes all the way. The scoreboard now reads 9-7, but it was shortly changed as the Bears converted. Go ahead, 10-7. In the fourth quarter, the determined Packers with the ball on their own 34 send big Bobby Floyd scampering down the sidelines for a gain of 16 yards. Realizing this is the do-or-die period, Green Bay elects to hit the height as Pirelli heaves to Houghton to set the hog high deep in Bear territory on the 22. Coach Gene Ronzani then put Tobin Rote back in at the quarterback position. The former right star attempts to pass, can't find a receiver, and is brought down for a 13-yard loss. Fourth down, within striking distance of the goal. Bill Reichert throws the pigskin toward the Timbers, but the kick is blocked. Down into the Bears, picks up the pigskin, sets sail, but the journey is short-lived as he is brought down on the Packer 40. Once more on the scoring side of the fence, with Williams calling the signals, the Chicago Bears start to roll as John Dopley tears through left tackle for 11 yards. On the next play, Williams continues to use the fancy stuff as he gives the ball to Whizzer White. White goes through the guard slot, is down the 20. On fourth down, Williams makes the try, fades back, fires one to Gene Schroeder on the 8. Schroeder's almost knocked out of bounds, but the fleet-footed end goes across the touchdown stripe to boast of the Bears score. Extra point good, Bears lead 17-7. Former Wildcat from Kentucky, George Blanda, gets off a high and long kickoff, which is taken on the 5 by Tony Canadale. Watch the blonde blizzard go. A run back of 42 yards as he's brought down on the 47. 2 plays later, Pirelli fakes the pass, hands to Bobby Floyd, but he's hit hard by Ed Sprinkle. Floyd fumbles the ball. It's recovered for the Bears. First and 10 on the Packers' 45. On the next play, the Bears decide it's about time for a long journey. Keep your eye on John Dopley as he takes the long trip downfield, arriving on schedule at the pay dirt station. The conversion is good, and the Bears lead 24-7. George Blanda once again sends the kickoff far downfield. Bobby Floyd takes it on the goal line. It comes straight up the middle to the 20-yard marker. The Green Bay Packers, still full of fight, rely on the arm of Tobin Rote. On this play, Rote tosses a short screen pass to Bobby Floyd. And the speedy back scampers off on a 35-yard run to put the ball on the Bears' side of the midfield stripe. Rote continues to take charge of the ball. It's going to be a long one this time. A 40-yard pass into the waiting arms of Houghton. The extra point is good, but the Green Bay Packers find themselves in the short end of the score at the gun. Final tally, Bears 24, Green Bay Packers 14.
The Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears are both searching for a winning combination as they renew their ancient rivalry. It's the Bears with the ball, and they're threatening in the opening minutes of the game. George Blanda passes, but it's Green Bay's Bobby Dillon grabbing the ball from Bill McCall. Dillon dances away and darts downfield, and before the Bears can size up the situation, it's too late, for Dillon is away on a dandy 50-yard touchdown return. The Packers rack up 7 points to take the lead. After the kickoff, the Bears' Billy Stone smacks through the Packer forward wall, but fumbles, and Green Bay's Ace Loomis pounces on the bounding ball, and the Packers take over. Fullback Fred Cohn takes the handoff, tears through the Bear line, and into the secondary. The Bears give chase, but they can't keep pace as Cohn canters over the clover for a 41-yard thrilling touchdown trot. This puts Green Bay in front, 14-0. We're still in the first quarter, and it's Green Bay with the ball again. Babe Pirelli passes. Chicago's Don Kent pilfers Pirelli's pass. Chicago fans are up on their feet as Kent turns this Packer pitch into a 65-yard touchdown for the Bears. This puts the Bears back in the ball game at 14-7 at the end of the first quarter. Near the end of the first half, George Blanda displays the Bears' passing wear. Blanda lobs a short toss to John Hoffman. Hoffman hot foot for 29 yards before going out of bounds on the Green Bay 38. Watch this play closely, and you'll see what perhaps is the finest fake by a ball carrier we've seen in a long time. George Blanda passes to Jim Dooley. Now here comes the fake. Down goes the man, and away goes Dooley to complete a 33-yard scoring maneuver. At the end of the first half, the score stands Green Bay 14, Chicago 14. Late in the third quarter, the Bears go on the prowl. Blanda hands off to Fred Morrison. Morrison is stopped, so he laterals back to Blanda. Blanda finds running room around his right end and carries all the way to the Green Bay 14 as the third quarter ends. On the first play of the last period, Chicago's stock jumps 7 points as George Blanda arches the ball into the eager arms of Bill McCall for a touchdown. The Bears lead for the first time today by 21-14. Late in the game, the Packers in possession. Tobin Rote, operating from the tailback slot, passes 18 yards to Jack Rabbit Boone. It's Rote passing again, a short one this time to Howard Ferguson, who carries the ball to midfield. Rote's right arm carries the Packers 7 yards deeper into Bear land as Jack Rabbit Boone grabs another pass on the Chicago 36. The Packers insert Babe Pirelli into the lineup, and the brilliant Babe hoists the heave to Bill Houghton. It's good for a touchdown as the Packers rally with a late score to tie the Bears, 21-21. It's dedication day in Green Bay, where the Packers proudly unveiled the brand new $1.5 million Green Bay City Stadium. Packer backers, 32,000 strong, are on hand for this historic occasion, which pits the Packers against their arch rivals, the Chicago Bears. Vice President Richard Nixon is the #1 fan in the sellout crowd. Today's game also marks the professional debut of a pair of prize Packer rookies. Number 5 is Notre Dame's Paul Hornung, the 1956 Heisman Award winner. Ron Kramer, number 88, All-American end from Michigan, was Green Bay's top selection in last year's collegiate draft. Veteran quarterback Babe Pirelli, number 10, is welcomed back to Green Bay after a tour with the Cleveland Browns. Now to the action. The Bears in the white jerseys are moving in the opening quarter as Jim Dooley takes a pass on his own 42. The Bears, the defending Western Conference champions, roll on with Ed Brown throwing a down-and-out pass to Bill McCall. It's Brown to McCall again, and the battling Bears are in scoring position. Ed Brown rolls out and around the right flank. He's in there with the first touchdown ever scored in the new Green Bay City Stadium. The Bears lead the Packers 7-0. Packers in possession in the second period. Pirelli is the quarterback, and the Babe hits Bill Houghton. Pirelli and Houghton show how it's done. The Babe throws. Houghton has it, and how's that for action? This 37-yard touchdown ties the score at 7-7. The Bears, normally a running team, are bypassing a rugged Green Bay line. Jim Dooley shags this toss on the Green Bay 40. Ed Brown has the big bad Bears bouncing right along. Bill McCall hauls in this ball for a 30-yard strike. Brown is passing the Packers dizzy. Easy Ed picks out all-pro end Harlan Hill with a payoff pass, and that's how touchdowns are scored. Chicago regains the lead, 14-7. Green Bay comes right back with Pirelli's passing, spearheading the attack. Gary Knappel grabs the ball, and it carries to the Chicago 43. Pirelli passes again. It goes down and out to Houghton for 11 yards. Green Bay uses a different formula here. Knappel takes a quick pass and goes like a halfback for a good gain. Freddie Cohn crashes across on a power play as Green Bay ties the game again. At halftime, it's Packers 14, Bears 14. In the opening minutes of the third quarter, Ed Brown finds a flaw in the Packer pass defense. The result, a 43-yard pass play as Harlan Hill hurries to the Green Bay 34. Brown is filling the air with football. Jim Dooley now his pass for 11 yards. Bears come back to earth with Bob Watkins shooting through the line to the Packer 9. Chicago runs into a roadblock at the 6. George Blanda detours around it with a field goal. The 17-14 score puts the Bears on top for the third time. We're in the final quarter now, and here come the Packers. Pirelli, who's having a banner day, pairs up with Billy Houghton. They move the ball 41 yards to the Chicago 8. On this play, Pirelli polishes off a fearless performance. Babe gives the Bears the brush to get his pass away in a rush. Gary Knappel catches the ball on his knees for the game-winning touchdown. Dedication Day in Green Bay is a sensational success as the Packers rally 3 times to upset the Chicago Bears 21-17. The Green Bay Packers open up in City Stadium against the Chicago Bears. Chicago is reported to be loaded and not for Bears league. The Packers are looking to new coach Vince Lombardi to lead them up the league ladder this year. Paul Harning is lunch. The ex-Notre Damer heads a host of fine Green Bay backs. With no score in the second quarter, the Bears' Johnny Morris reels off 10 yards to his 49. The Bears' air attack features Ed Brown. He hits Jim Dooley on the 38-yard line. The Packers brace up to repel the Bears, but John Avini puts them in the scoring column with a 46-yard field goal. The Bears hang on to a 3-0 edge at the half. So far, both teams have exhibited strong defenses when the chips were down. In the third quarter, a new face on the Packers scene. Lamar McCann proves an immediate hit with the Green Bay Rooters. He teams up with shifty Max McGee for a 67-yard gain to the Bears 13. Paul Harning attempts to cap a Packer drive with a 14-yard field goal. It's no good, and the score remains 3-0 Bears. The Bears break out of their den with a 32-yard play from Ed Brown to Willie Gallimore, who gallops all the way to the 50. Brown continues to lead the Bears out of the wilderness. Willard Duville grabs his pass on the Packer 38 to end the quarter. As As the fourth quarter gets underway, John Avini makes his foot useful again. He booms a 42-yard field goal for a 6-0 Chicago lead in the fourth quarter. The Packers are forced to punt. Max McGee spirals a beauty to Richie Pettibone on the Bear 15. Pettibone gets back to the 24 before a jarring tackle frees the pigskin. Jim Ringo alertly recovers for the Packers on the 26. Paul Hornung hits for 6 yards to the 20. Jim Taylor tears up the turf with a 5-yard carry to the 15. From the 5-yard line, Taylor barrels into pay dirt as Green Bay jumps into a 7-6 lead. Max McGee has been keeping the pressure on the Bears with his booming punts. Here he kicks out of bounds on the Chicago 2. The hard-charging Packer forward wall crashes in on Ed Brown as Dave Hanner nails Brown for 2 points. Packers look like real troublemakers in 1959 as they upset the Bears 9-6. Vince Lombardi makes his coaching debut a rousing success, and his players carry him off the field in a fitting tribute.
A bloodthirsty bunch of Packers, smarting from 2 straight losses, come snarling into Wrigley Field to tangle with the Chicago Bears, who have just won 2 straight. It's a golden opportunity for either one to take a step up in the Western Conference standings. Tom Moore, a speedster from Vanderbilt, is the Packers' choice for Rookie of the Year honors. Paul Hornung, the Packers' handiest back, gets the attack in high gear with a 10-yard thrust late in the first quarter. The teams change ends at the 15-minute mark, and Green Bay's Hornung puts his kicking talent to work with a 14-yard field goal. It's Green Bay's lead at 3-0. The Bears have the ball, but they're back to their own goal line. Willie Davis rushes in to block Ed Brown's punt, and the ball comes right down in his arms for a Packer touchdown. The Packers now own a 10-0 lead over Chicago. Before the half is over, Ed Brown has the Bears growling for points. Ed hoists a nice pass to Angie Koya, who takes it over his shoulder for a 35-yard gain. Brown bustles back and lets his blockers take care of the Packers as he waits for a man to get clear. Willie Duval is loose, and Brown hits him for a score. The conversion attempt fails, but the Bears are in the game at 10-6. Paul Hornung spearheads a powerful Packer push late in the period. Hornung hammers for 9 yards. All-around Paul closes out the first half by booting a 41-yard field goal on the final play to stretch the Green Bay advantage to 13-6 over the Bears. Here goes the second half kickoff with John Avini booting the ball for the Bears. It sails into the Packer end zone, but Tom Moore elects to run it out. Tom takes his time as his blockers clear the way, then turns on full power and sprints for the other end of the field. Moore gets by everybody, but Angelo Koya catches him from behind after an 84-yard return. The Packers need only 2 plays to make Tom's trip pay off. On second down, Paul Hornung takes Bart Starr's pass and romps into the end zone. Hornung's season point total zooms to 144, a new National League scoring record. Leading 20-6, Green Bay goes for more later in the period. Starr whips the ball to Max McGee for a 16-yard gain. Starr and McGee are on a passing spree. Starr's pass over the middle is right on target, and McGee pulls it in. Max's fumble is after the whistle. Jim Taylor slashes into the left side and goes over for the score. The Packers are pouring it on to the tune of 27-6 over the Bears. Chicago tries Bratkowski at quarterback, and the Bears come alive. Zeke's pigskin rocket comes down in the arms of Angie Koya, and Angie picks up still more ground on a 59-yard play. Witkowski hurries back and fires toward the far sideline. Jim Dooley is there to make the catch. Fake his way past Hank Greminger and trot into the end zone. Now it's Packers 27, Bears 13. The men of Green Bay set out to make up the lost ground. Starr sends a strike to Max McGee that earns the Packers 13 yards. Paul Hornung slashes inside right end for 8 yards, and the Packers threaten as the game moves into the final 15 minutes. On the first play of the fourth quarter, Paul Hornung takes the ball and sweeps right end for 10 yards and a touchdown. Every point Paul scores sets a new league record as Green Bay gallops away to a 34-13 lead. The Bears can't get anything going, but the Packers can. Clark Starr comes back, sidesteps the Bear blitzers, and passes to Max McGee, who has gotten behind J.C. Caroline. The 46-yard touchdown closes out the scoring, and the 41-13 victory puts Green Bay right at the top of the Western Conference heap, along with Baltimore and San Francisco.
The Bears journey to California to take on the tough San Francisco 49ers. We pick up the action in the second quarter with the Bears ahead 3-0. Bears in the white uniforms force the punt. Brown gets it away. Abe Woodson has it. He's going to get some yardage on this one, and he is finally dropped on the Bear 44, a 20-yard return. Tittle at quarterback now for San Francisco. Perry and Lyles in the backfield. Hand off to Perry. He's got some room. Round right end, cuts in, and gets a 17-yard gain to the Chicago 27 before Larry Morris puts on the crusher. Now let's try a pass, says Tittle. It's good to Wilson to the 20-yard line. After another play gained a yard, here's Tittle, handing off now to Lenny Lyles. Watch it in slow motion. Bruce Bosley, number 77, leading the interference. He's going to make a gain on this one. Beautiful cutback. He is over, and San Francisco takes a 7-3 halftime lead. Third quarter now. Bears ball on their own 13. Eddie Brown hands off to Caceres. Here's Rick pounding for 9 yards to the 28. 2nd and 1 now. Bears calling Caceres. There's the handoff, and he got a first down on the play with 3 yards to spare. Brown dropping back to pass. Throws one up the middle. It is complete now to Johnny Morris. A good play. 21 yards, a first down on the San Francisco 46. Now the Bears are behind, but they're beginning to roll. Caceres takes that pitch out. Here he is around left end. Runs into one of his teammates, but he grinds out 11 yards on this one to the 49ers 35, where Baker and Woodson bring him down. Great run by Gallimore coming up. Watch this now. Brownie back. Throws the lob. Willie has it. Here he is, really tearing down the sidelines. Cuts in now toward the middle. And it's good for 34 yards and a Chicago touchdown. Attaboy, Willie. Now it's fourth quarter. Score tied, 10-10. Tittle barking out the signal. Drops back. Spots Owen. Complete. The play is good for 12 yards. First down on the Bear 48. Tittle with the ball again this time. Rolls out to his right. Throws. It is complete to Wilson, and a first down on the Chicago 31. The Bears defense stops the 49ers on fourth down. Davis tries a field goal from the 31. It is good. And San Francisco takes a 13-10 lead with 3 minutes and 5 seconds to go. Davis kicking off. Johnny Morris grabs it. Fumbles, picks it up. At the 5, the 10, the 15, he's hit and knocked down on the 17-yard line of the Bears. Now the Bears need big yardage in a hurry. Brown back. Looks for a target. Spots Harlan Hill. It's good. Harlan carries 30 yards on this play to his own 47-yard line. Eddie Brown back again. Here's the toss. Beautiful catch by Duvall. And it's first down for the Bears on the 49er 30-yard line. The 2-minute warning has been sounded. Bears 3 points behind. Brown dropping back. He's got protection this time. Aims. It is caught. It is a touchdown. Complete to Dooley for 30 yards. 83 yards in 3 plays. A 17-13 lead for the Bears. 1 minute, 54 seconds to go. Avini kicking off to Woodson, who downs it there in the end zone touchback. Now, 49ers with the ball. First and 10 on their 20. Tittle rolling out to his right. Wants to pass. Throws a screen to Lyles. Here's Lenny carrying upfield now behind some very good blocking. 19 yards to the 49ers' 39-yard line. Tittle back to pass again. Waits, finally throws a long one. It is intended for Wilson. It is almost intercepted by Carolina the Bears. 1:27 left. Tittle back to pass again. Spots Wilson. Complete. 15 yards to the Bear 46. Jack Johnson pushing him out of bounds. Now here comes the play that brought more anguish to the Bears and their fans than any other this season. Tittle back. Chased out to his right. Here it comes, the alley-oop pass. Owens up in the air. He has it. Touchdown. A real circus catch, and with only 1 minute of play remaining, the San Francisco fans go wild. The 49ers beat the Bears 20-17. The following week, the Bears journey to Los Angeles to take on the highly touted and high-scoring Rams. It's a beautiful day at the Coliseum. Number 88 there is Duval of the Bears. Here's 89, Johnny Avini, the rookie kicking specialist. Number 9 of the Rams there is quarterback Wade. Number 26, their brilliant halfback John Arnett. Team captains meeting in the center of the field. The Rams win the toss, elect to receive. Avini kicking off. There she goes. It's taken by Thomas on the 4. He's at the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, and he's down on the Ram 28-yard line. Lionel Taylor making the stop. Rams in the dark jerseys, Bears in white. Wade passes, complete to Clark on the Rams 44. Matson tries for the first down, makes it as Atkins and Bishop drop him on the 48. Rams ball. Wade back, tosses it to Schaffner in the flank. He's loose. Watch this. Jack Johnson chasing him. Can he catch him? No! And there goes Schaffner across the goal line. A quick touchdown for Los Angeles. And after the kickoff, the Bears get back in the game in a hurry. Caceres with the handoff. He blasts through center for 6 yards now to the Los Angeles 31. Bratkowski quarterbacking for Chicago. Here's a handoff to Johnny Morris. And here he is for 3 to the 28-yard line. The Bears are using a tight T formation. An old formation. 3rd and 1 on the Rams 28. Bratkowski on a sneak. He makes first down with plenty to spare. Dooley in motion now to the left from left halfback. The Bears reverting to that old T. The Brat is back. Receivers covered. He finally spots Morris. It's complete, and watch Johnny go. Great run by this little guy. Morris is over. The extra point is good. The score is tied at 7-7. Third quarter now. Score still tied at 7-7. Schaffner back to punt. He's going to run with it. He decides to boot. It's blocked by Bishop. And the Bears take over, even though Marconi recovers for the Rams. Bears ball, 1st and 10 on the 19. Here's Morris taking the handoff. Got a nice hole there. Beautiful running as Johnny gallops to the Los Angeles 7-yard line. Eddie Brown quarterbacking for the Bears now. They're using the slot formation. There's the pass complete to Dr. Bill McCall, who's battling his way into that end zone. The referee rules the ball dead on the 1-yard line. You've got a yard to go. You call on Caceres. Here's the handoff. And Rick makes it look easy. Avini's extra point is good. The Bears take a 14-7 lead. Now shortly afterward, with the ball on the Rams 28, Wade back to pass. He's rushed. Hit by Leggett, fumbles. Larry Morris picks up the ball. He's going to score on this play. He is over. And the Bears are out in front 20-7. Now it's Avini kicking off from his 40-yard line. Kind of short. Picked up by a forward. Is picked up by Wilkins. He returns to the Ram 46-yard line. And there on the sideline, Sid Gilman, head coach, gives words of instructions to his number 2 quarterback, Ryan. Looks as though Wade is out of there. Ryan taking over now. Complete to Schaffner for 13 yards, a first down on the Bear 40. Rams are 13 points behind, but a lot of time is remaining. Here's Ryan pitching out to Ollie Matson. Watch this high stepper go. 21 yards on this play to the Bear 19 before Doug Atkins comes up from behind to make that stop. Let's try that one again, says Ryan. It's the same play now as Matson slants through guard and drives the remaining distance all the way. It's a touchdown, and the Rams are back in the ball game, 20-14. Michaels kicking off for Los Angeles. A left-footed boot. Gallimore waiting. He takes it. He's at the 10, the 15, the 20, the 25, and is down on the 28-yard line of the Bears. Brown quarterbacking now. Morris and Caceres at the backfield spots. Morris with the ball, and he drives for 5 before running into the Rams and the referee. Eddie Brown drops back again. Screen pass in the flat to Morris. Good blocking from Giblin and Lee. And it is a first down on the Bears' 47. Brownie back. Looks for a receiver. Spots Duvall. It is caught by Willard. And Duvall is dropped from the 41. There's no stopping the Bear passing attack now. Brown back again. Throws a bullet. Complete to Duvall. A first down on the Rams' 27. And after Caceres was dropped for a 3-yard loss, Brownie fakes a pitch out. Throws down the middle. Caught by Caceres. Watch him go. The great fullback is all alone as he crosses the goal line, and the Bears whip the Los Angeles Rams 26-21. And now let's look in on a bit of skullduggery by the old pro.
Instant action, Elwood. That's the secret of the proper 4th down punt. Now, before I count 3, propel that pigskin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's keeping you, slippery mitts? He who hesitates has had it. Gee. Now, let's try this once more. And remember, as soon as I center, you give it the old full staff fare thee well. Now, ready? 1, 2, 3, hike!
Any good time is Falstaff time. Smooth and golden, bright and clear. America's premium quality beer. Sing out now, the time is here for cool, refreshing Falstaff.
Slap to it, fans. Go, go, go for Falstaff. That's my beer.
Meet their crosstown rivals, the Chicago Cardinals, at Soldiers Field, and a big crowd of Chicagoans is on hand to watch the fireworks. The Cards captains shake hands with Bill George and Abe Gibran, the Bears co-captains. Cards in the dark jerseys, Bears in the white. Woody Lewis kicks off. Johnny Morris of the Bears grabs the ball. Here he comes upfield. Head down, he drives to the Bear 24. The game is underway. One of the great plays of the season coming up. Brown back. Watch Duvall now. Brown back to his 16. He throws. It is complete to Duvall after bouncing off the arms of 3 Cardinal defenders and into the midst of Willard, and the surprise Cardinals haven't got a chance as Duvall gallops into the end zone. The Bears take a 7-0 lead on the first play from scrimmage. Second quarter now. Brown passing. It is complete to Harlan Hill, the 206th catch of Hill's career, tying the Bears club record. 1st and 10 on the Cardinal 46. Brown back. Aims one at Gallimore on the flat. It is complete. Willie circles wide, then cuts in, and finally moves down to the 32, but the Cardinals are penalized to their 15 for a personal foul. Bears ball. Johnny Morris takes the handoff. Rick Caceres leading the interference. Johnny slips by one would-be tackler and is finally pushed out of bounds on the 12 by John Roach. 2nd and 7 now on the Cardinal 12. Ed Brown back. Looks for a receiver. Throws. It is complete to Duvall, and he's off to the races again. The 10, the 5. He is over. And the Bears lead at halftime by a 14-0 score. Third quarter now. Pass play coming up. It is picked off his shoe tops by Hill. It's complete, and a first down on the Cardinal 36, and that one broke Jim Keene's Bear record. The play covered 18 yards. Brown on a quickie this time, complete over the line to Hill, to the 27, Carr grabbing him by the leg. There's a quick opener to Rick Caceres. A good trap play. He's loose. He goes 28 yards and a touchdown as the crowd goes wild. A lot of Bear fans at Soldiers Field again today. Bears 24, Cardinals nothing. And now the Cards resort to some trickery. Norton back to punt, fakes. He's running with the ball. He's at the 30, the 35, the 40, and is finally shoved out of bounds on the 44 by Pettibone. King Hill at quarterback now for the Redbirds. It's a pass. It is complete to Conrad for 18 yards and a first down on the Bear 44. King Hill fading back again. It's a draw. Good play by Hammock. Over to the left sidelines. He's slowed up by Charlie Sumner, pushed out of bounds on the Bears 25 by Fortunato. First and 10 on the 25. Now in slow motion. King Hill has the ball. Rolls out to his right. Fakes the pass. Finally throws. It's a long one. It is complete to Richards, and a Cardinal touchdown brings the score to 24-7 in favor of the Bears. Last play of the third quarter. Conrad fumbles. Bill George recovers for the Bears on the Cardinal 37. The Cardinals fumbled often today. First play of the fourth quarter now. Brown rolling out to his right. Long heave intended for Johnny Morris. It is incomplete, but interference is ruled against the Cardinals. Bears ball, first down on the 3. Here's a handoff now to Johnny Morris. Boom. A rugged game, still 1 yard short of that touchdown. The Bears, however, are not to be denied. Merrill Douglas with the ball this time, and he is over. Touchdown as the Bears thrilled the crowd with a smashing 31-7 win over the luckless Cards. The Pittsburgh Steelers pay their first visit to Wrigley Field in 10 years. The Steelers have won 3 in a row, and the Bears 5 in a row, and something's got to give. Here's a shot of Dean Derby, who came to Pittsburgh from the Los Angeles Rams this year. Tom Tracy, hard-driving halfback. And Bobby Lane, one of football's all-time great quarterbacks. First quarter, Pittsburgh in the light jerseys. Luna, standing on his 11, gets a punt away. A long, high beauty. It is taken by Pettibone. He's back to the 15, the 20, 25, and is down on the 28. Bears in the dark jerseys. Brown quarterback and fades back. It is complete to Duvall for 18 yards. First down on the Bear 44. Here's the handoff to Caceres. Finds a small hole at center. Drives for 6 yards before Tarasovic and Rager close in. 2nd and 4 on the 50. Brown back. Throws. Complete to Hill. First down on the Steeler 43. Here's a handoff by Caceres. Takes that pitch out. He has some room. He cuts in beautifully. He's got room, and it is a 34-yard gain to the Pittsburgh 5 before 4 Steeler tacklers drag him down. Some run by Rick. Here's a shot from behind the goalpost now. Caceres with the handoff. He is over. The extra point try was blocked. Bears take an early 6-0 lead. Second quarter now. Bears ball on their 20. Brownie back. Another one of his specialties, the long pass. There it goes. It is complete to Harlan Hill, who steps out of bounds on the Steelers' 40, goes down the sidelines, but the play is called back to the Steeler 40, where his foot went out of bounds. Brownie back again. Throws one at the right sidelines. Caught by Dooley. And Jimmy works the play to the Pitt 21. Bears are threatening now. Brown back. Uncorks one. Caught by McCall. And the Doctor moves this one for 9 more down to the Steeler 11-yard line. Another great pass and catch coming up with the Falstaff slow-motion camera. Brown back. Throws a hook pass complete to McCall. The Steelers are backed up to their 1-foot line. The Bears call on Caceres, and the battering fullback is over now. The extra point is good, and the score stands Bears 13, Steelers nothing. Still in the second quarter. Bears on the Pittsburgh 30, and Brownie throws one. Makes it look easy as he connects on a 19-yarder to Dooley to the Steeler 10-yard line. Brown is red hot today. A fake to Caceres. Drops back. There it goes. Interference called against the Steelers, and the Bears have a first down on the Steeler 1-yard line. That's a big break for the Bears. Here's the handoff to Caceres. He dives over, and did he make it? Yes, he did. The Bears take a 20-0 lead. Seconds before the half ended, Pittsburgh scored. Now we're in the third quarter. Bears ahead 20-7. Bears ball on their 20. Brownie throws a long heave. It is complete to Dooley. Dean Derby just manages to haul him down. The ball is on the pit 33. Brownie back again. Good catch by Caceres. A safety valve throw to the fullback, and he turns the corner, grabs 12 yards on this play to the Steeler 18-yard line. And after a ground play, carries to the 15. Brownie's back again. Aims that pass to McCall. Caught by the doctor. Grabs it up. First down on the Steeler 3. Now let's watch this Bear grind it out power. Watch Caceres. Yep, he does have it. And there he goes, diving through the air. He's over. The Bears take a 27-7 lead with 8 minutes and 12 seconds left in the third quarter. The Steelers, however, are still to be heard from, and how. Luna back. No punt. Throws a pass. It's taken by Buddy Dial on the 43. He's down those sidelines. He's inside the Bear 40. He is finally down on the Chicago Bear 8-yard line. Now, in slow motion, watch this great pro, Bobby Lane, go to work on the Chicago Bears. There's a pitch out to Larry Krutko. He's got room. He is, watch it now, inside the 5. He is over. And Pittsburgh comes within 13 points of a tie at 27-14. Now we're in the fourth quarter. 3 minutes and 59 seconds left in this game. Lane is going to try the long pass. It is incomplete, almost intercepted by Barnes, who thinks he has it, but the ball bounced back into his hands from the ground. The whole play, however, is called back. Defensive holding against the Bears gives Pittsburgh a 1st and 10 on their 23. There's a break for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's a handoff to Tom the Bomb Tracy, who burst through a big hole. Really takes off. Shakes off those tacklers. He's finally knocked out of bounds on this play on the Bear 25-yard line by J.C. Caroline. A beautiful 51-yard run. Steelers desperate, trying another long pass. There it goes. It is complete to Buddy Dial, and the rookie bounces over the goal line as the Steelers creep within 6 points at 27-21. Look out, Bears. Now with 47 seconds left in this game, Pittsburgh regains control of the ball. Lane on his 22 pitches. It is complete to Dial for 14 yards. Out of bounds he goes to stop that clock. 42 seconds left. Lane back. Spots Tracy. It is complete. And here's Tracy now driving to midfield. Fortunato dropping him with a flying tackle. 35 seconds left. A touchdown will beat the Bears. Lane back. He passes. It is complete to Dial. Out of bounds on the Bear 37. 29 seconds left now. Lane handing off to Tracy. It's a fake. He's going to throw one. He does. It is caught by Nagler. Look out now. And he is finally pushed out of bounds on the Chicago Bears 7. 10 seconds to go in this game. 1st and goal to go on the Bears 7. Watch this great defense in action. Lane back. He throws. Incomplete. 7 seconds left in this game. Now this crowd is going crazy. Can this great defense do it? Another pass. Incomplete. Just out of reach of Nagler. 5 seconds left now in this game. Lane back. A pass down the center. Batted down. Incomplete. 4th down. 2 seconds left. Hysteria reigning. Lane back. He waits. He waits. He waits. He throws. It is incomplete. Out of the end zone. The game is over. The Bears squeak through 27-21 before 40,000 gasping fans. And now this is Jack Brickhouse wrapping up the 1959 Bears highlight film, reminding you that the Falstaff Brewing Corporation, brewers of America's premium quality beer, will again bring you exciting pro football next fall on the CBS TV Pro Football Game of the Week. Tune in with Falstaff and enjoy every play throughout the 1960 season. This has been another special Falstaff Sports presentation.
The play-by-play voice, along with the voice of the National Brewing Company's Bailey Goss. That's me. This past season saw the Baltimore Colts, picked in preseason predictions for a stellar finish, end up in 3rd place after leading the red-hot Western Division of the National Professional Football League through most of the season. On this film, we see the Colts in action against each team in the Western Conference of the National Professional Football League during the past season. But first, we'd like to take you into territory that is forbidden to persons other than the players and people on official business. This is the door to the locker room of the Baltimore Colts. What goes on behind the scenes? Well, let's suppose it's a Sunday morning, the day most Colt games are played. While you're still reading the game previews in the morning papers, say about 9 a.m., the Colts equipment manager, Freddie Schuback, is already at work. He's setting up equipment for the arrival of the players later in the day. Setting out uniforms and other equipment. Installing mud cleats if the field is wet. Arranging each man's uniform in his locker. But these men behind the ball are not the only early arrivals. There are plenty of early birds among the players, too. Men like Artie Donovan, Jim Mutchler, and Alex Sandusky like to arrive at the stadium early, take their time getting ready for the game. Now let's take a look at all the official and unofficial equipment a man wears into a professional football battle. Most players, such as Steve Myra, are as fussy about shoulder pads as you might be about a new sports jacket. Linemen go for heavy, rugged protection in the vital shoulder area, while defensive halfback Bert Retchichar prefers a lighter model that gives him greater freedom of movement. End Raymond Berry uses a specially reinforced hip pad to protect him from smashing tackles as he catches those passes. Next, a ritual. Lenny Moore has his ankles taped as a precaution against twists and sprains. Colt trainer Eddie Block spends as much as a quarter of an hour taping each player before game time. Finally, there's the helmet, a heavy plastic bonnet with a variety of face guards, depending on the preference and the needs of the individual player. Ready for the game, but not quite. Head coach Weeb Eubank and assistant coaches Charlie Winner, Herman Ball, Johnny Bridges, and team physician Doc Irwin Mayer have arrived, and there are plenty of last details to be spelled out. The players, now dressed and ready, get a briefing, just like a pilot about to take off on a flight. Plays for the day's game are discussed. Right now, Coach Weeb Eubank is checking the ready list, the first series of offensive plays to be used during the day's game. Plays come from the playbook, a thick volume of over 200 plays that the club has available during the season. Usually about 50 are selected the week before the game and practiced until the moment the team takes the field. Take good care of that playbook, mister. You're subject to a $200 fine if you lose it. Well, the team is just about ready to go. But just before game time, the backfield men warm up their pitching arms. And the very last thing that takes place in the locker room is the team prayer. And now the Colts are ready for action. And here's how they did on the field during one of the most exciting seasons in National Pro Football history. Come in, Chuck Thompson, and give us the play-by-play of the opening day at Memorial Stadium.
Thank you, Bailey, and hi, everybody. Well, today it's the Colts versus the Detroit Lions, the same team which went on to win the World's Professional Football Championship. Well, here's a man to watch. He's John Unitas, number 19, the Colt quarterback. Detroit, runner-up in the Western Conference in 1956, begins the season impressively. Bobby Lane's pass goes to Dave Middleton. Middleton goes 53 yards before Bert Retchichar spills him on the Colt 3. Howard Hopalong Cassidy saddles up and gallops into the Colts corral. Detroit scores first to lead Baltimore 7-0. The Colts come charging right back with Alan Amici, the Baltimore Bull, banging into Lion Land. Unitas fakes to Amici, Amici fakes the cameraman, and Jim Mutchler fakes the entire Lion defense. It's a 44-yard touchdown, Unitas to Mutchler, that ties the score at 7-0. The Colts kick up their heels in the second quarter. A fast pass, Unitas to L.G. Dupre, puts the ball on the Lion 42. Here again is that same Unitas and Dupre combination. Watch them work. It's professional football at its finest. A 35-yard touchdown play that gives Baltimore a 14-7 lead. The very next time the Colts get the ball, they break into another goalward gallop. Unitas flips a flat pass to Dupre, who rushes to the Detroit 37. Unitas, causing Detroit plenty of worry, highlights another scoring flurry with a 35-yard toss to Raymond Berry, and the count is now the Colts 21, Lions 7. Baltimore's defenders are giving Detroit's Bobby Lane a real bad time. This pass is blocked, then intercepted by Jesse Thomas, and Baltimore is in business again. The Colts are riding high today. Amici grabs a Unitas pass and storms to the Detroit 31. In an effort to beat the clock, Rechachar attempts a first-down field goal. Burt bangs the ball over the bar, and Baltimore enjoys a 24-7 lead at the half. The Colts carry their momentum into the third period. Amici starts the stampede by stomping to the Detroit 41. Unitas calls Lenny Moore's number. Moore pulls in the pass, and then loose-legged Lenny lays the Lions low as he lopes along on a 30-yard play. The Colts are working this play overtime, and it's working all the time. It goes Unitas to Dupre for a Baltimore score, and the Colts are on top 31-7. The Colts just can't be contained. When they get the ball again, they're off and running with lightning Lenny Moore supplying the legwork. Moore's rapid-fire rush carries to the Detroit 27. When Baltimore bogs down, Burt Rechachar comes through with his specialty, a 25-yard three-point placement that just about puts the game on ice. That's Rifle and Tobin Rote, quarterback in the Lions, late in the game. Tobin tosses to the goal line where Jerry Reichow makes a classy catch for the final score of the game. Baltimore, with a surprising and promising display of power, downs the Lions 34-14.
Flushed with their opening day win over the Lions, the Colts next played host to the Western Conference defending champions, the Chicago Bears. The Bears, upset in their opener against Green Bay, were in a revenge-minded mood, but the Colts were not to be topped. They came out on the long end of a 21-10 score. With 2 wins in a row under their belts, the Colts traveled to Milwaukee County Stadium to play the rejuvenated Green Bay Packers. It was this game that pushed the Colts into national prominence. And here's Chuck Thompson with the play-by-play action of this game.
Baltimore's unbeaten Colts, the front-running, free-scoring sensations of the Western Conference, gallop into Milwaukee County Stadium for a big engagement with the Packers. Green Bay, wearing the dark jerseys, moves the ball in the first quarter. Bart Starr passes 14 yards to Bill Houghton. Starr shines and Baltimore whines. Bart baffles the Colts with a bullseye to Gary Knopfel. Stymied by a sturdy defense, Fred Cohn kicks the Packers clear with a 25-yard placement, and Green Bay is on top 3-0. Lenny Moore ignites the Baltimore offense with a 14-yard thrust through the middle. Johnny Unitas, Baltimore's spectacular quarterback, teams up with L.G. Dupre to bring the ball to the Colt 38. Unitas unwinds a long one this time, but the ball falls incomplete, and Packer partisans moan and groan when interference is called against Green Bay, and the 41-yard penalty puts Baltimore back in business. John Unitas, the surprise player of the year, sparkles for Baltimore. Jim Mutzler wraps up this pass, and the Colts move to the front at 7-3. Late in the second period, the Packers explode with Bart Starr touching off the fuse with a 53-yard flip to Gary Knopfel. Starr and Knopfel continue to baffle Baltimore. This play goes all the way as Green Bay holds sway 10-7. Early third quarter action finds the Colts' Johnny Unitas back at work. Lenny Moore pulls in this pass, and the Reading Rocket rolls away on a 52-yard play. Alan Amici bucks in for the score that opens the door for Baltimore, and it's the Colts 14, the Packers 10. Green Bay goes to the arm of Bart Starr in an effort to recapture the lead, but Starr's pass is pulled down by Burt Rechachar, and the Colts set up shop on the Green Bay 22. Retchachar started this, and now he finishes it with a 23-yard field goal that gives Baltimore breathing room at 17-10. After holding the Packers for downs, the Colts gallop goalward as Lenny Moore lugs the leather to the Green Bay 23. Alan Amici racks up the Packers with a 9-yard plunge, and it's goal to go for Baltimore. Amici blasts for the touchdown as the Colts pull away to a 24-10 mark. Baltimore is still moving full steam ahead in the fourth quarter. This play goes Unitas to Mutchler, and Mutchler is too much for the Packers. The Colts hang up another counter to lead 31-10. Vito Babe Pirelli pilots the Packers as they try to get back in the game, but things go from bad to worse as Don Shinnick swipes Pirelli's pass, and once more Baltimore is set to score. Baltimore trots out a rookie back by the name of John Call. Call's number is the right one, and he answers with a 24-yard rush to the Green Bay 11. The big horse, Alan Amici, tacks up another Baltimore touchdown, and the Colts enjoy a cozy 38-10 advantage. Bart Starr returns to the Packer backfield, but this just isn't Green Bay's day. Starr's pass falls into the arms of Baltimore's Milt Davis, and the Colts are kicking up their heels again. George Shaw, another Baltimore quarterback, comes out from under wraps just long enough to pitch a touchdown pass to Jim Mutchler, and this puts Baltimore way out in front at 45-10. Green Bay is fighting to save face. Bart Starr throws down and out to Bill Houghton for 15 yards. Starr and Houghton click again, and the Packers score on the play, but this barely dents Baltimore's bulging scoreboard total, and the Packers go down to defeat 45-17. Baltimore remains unbeaten and leads the Western Conference.
Riding high with a 3-0 record, the Colts moved into the Motor City for a meeting with the always dangerous Detroit Lions. With less than 2 minutes to play, it looked like the Colts had won their fourth game in a row. The Colts were leading 27-17, but the red-hot Lions struck pay dirt twice in the final minutes. Their last touchdown coming with 45 seconds left on the clock, and won the game 31-27. They say that lightning never strikes twice in the same place, but the Colts will certainly quarrel with that cliche. The Green Bay Packers took a leaf from the Lions book and came through in the final 30 seconds with a touchdown pass from Babe Pirelli to Billy Houghton to edge the Colts 24-21. The faltering Colts were picked to get back on the winning side of the ledger when they played host to Buddy Parker's Pittsburgh Steelers. But the Steelers hadn't read the press notices. Baltimore lost another squeaker 19-13. Well, it looked like Lady Luck had completely deserted the Colts as they left for Washington to meet the Redskins. National Bohemian play-by-play announcers Bob Wolf and Chuck Thompson were on hand as the Colts set out to break their losing streak.
And break it they did, Bailey, but not without keeping every Colt fan on the edge of his seat. The Washington-Baltimore tussle is always packed with action from beginning to end. The Colts take charge in the opening quarter as Unitas teams up with Raymond Berry for an 11-yard play. Week after week, Johnny Unitas has been bombarding opponents with touchdown tosses. Johnny is on target here as his long pass is tucked in by Raymond Berry for a sensational 67-yard payoff. Johnny's 16th TD pass of the year results in Baltimore taking a 7-0 lead. Second period highlights find Unitas masterminding another Colt drive with a 17-yard pitch to Raymond Berry. Berry squeezes into the Redskins secondary again, and Unitas pinpoints him with a 12-yard pass. The fearsome twosome works Washington for another score as Unitas hurls a TD toss to Raymond Berry. Johnny has now thrown 17 touchdown tosses, the league's best mark, and Baltimore leads 14-0. The Redskins get on the trail late in the period, and Leo Elter leads them with a 10-yard jaunt. It's time for Washington's prize rookies to get into the act. That's Jim Podolly ripping off an 18-yard gain. The little magician Eddie LeBaron is faking everybody as he keeps, then fires a bullet to Jim Podolly to the Baltimore 4-yard line. Only a freshman, Jim Podolly is making quite a name for himself with his toting ability as he prances into the end zone, and the Redskins cut Baltimore's lead to 14-7 at the half. In the third quarter, the Colts are lassoed and Alan Amici fumbles. The Redskins recover, and they're within striking distance of the Baltimore goal. The ex-Miami bulldozer, Don Bossler, takes the handoff and bores into the Colt barn for a 19-yard surge that falls just short of a touchdown. On the next play, Bossler gets the equalizer as he smashes across, and the game is tied at 14-all. In the final period, the little chief, Eddie LeBaron, takes matters into his own dynamic hands as he uncorks a 22-yarder to Jim Podolly. The Skins call on Sam Baker to get them the lead, and he does with a field goal. Washington comes from behind and is now on top 17-14. The Colts, who have been nipped at the finish in 2 of their 3 defeats, are fighting to reverse the situation as Unitas leads a last-ditch rally with a 43-yard pass to Raymond Berry. 2 minutes are left, and Unitas is back to pass. Johnny hits L.G. Dupre, and it's a 13-yard gain. Unitas and Berry, who combined for a total of 212 yards in this game, advance the ball to the 6-yard line. Only 50 seconds remain as Unitas rolls out to the right. Johnny tucks the ball in and crashes into the end zone for the winning touchdown. Baltimore, with a hair-raising comeback, downs Washington 21-17. The victory enables the Colts to remain in a second-place tie with Detroit in the Western Conference. Back in winning stride, the Colts travel to the Windy City in an attempt to make it 2 in a row over the highly touted Bears. Some 47,000 Windy City rooters have hopes that Chicago will avenge an early season setback by the Colts. The Colts receive the opening kickoff, and they start to roll right away. Johnny Unitas passes to L.G. Dupre, who picks up 13 yards. Unitas, the league leader in scoring passes, specializes in cross-country connections. Jim Mutchler makes this play complete, and it's a Lulu. A 66-yard touchdown pass, the 18th of the year for Unitas, gives Baltimore an early 6-0 edge. A Chicago Bear rally is nipped in the bud by Baltimore's alert pass defense. Zeke Bratkowski's pass is picked off by Milt Davis. Davis, a defensive specialist from UCLA, hightails it 74 yards down the near sideline. Willie Gallimore knocks the ball out of his hands, but the Colts retain possession deep in the lair of the Bear. Unitas fakes to Amici and flips to Dupre. LG is long gone as he canters to a Colt counter, and Baltimore leads 13-0. Zeke Bratkowski guides the Bears into the Colt corral, and they close in with a 17-yard pass to Bill McCall. It's Bratkowski again, but the Bears are buffaloed by another rookie Colt defender. He's Andy Nelson from Memphis State, and this interception, a sight to behold, stops the Bears cold. Baltimore's sturdy steeds whip up a storm in the second quarter. John Unitas teams up with Lenny Moore, and this combination clicks for 40 fast yards. The belligerent Bears corral the Colts, and Bert Retchichar attempts a 47-yard field goal. Retchichar's boot falls short for a touchback, and the ball goes over to the Bears. Once more, Zeke Bratkowski tries to get Chicago on the ball, but the Bears are bottled again as Andy Nelson purloins this pass, and now it's Baltimore's ball on the Colt 45. Unitas, firmly entrenched as the Colts' #1 quarterback, makes a 19-yard connection with L.G. Dupre. The Colts call on Retchichar for a field goal attempt, but Bert's boot is blocked by Fred Williams. Williams chases the ball, but he can't hold it. Joe Fortunato finally pins the pigskin to the turf on the Colt 33. The Bears have a big chance, and Rick Casares sets out to make the most of it. Ed Brown, the new Chicago quarterback, makes his presence known with a touchdown shot to Bill McCall. The Bears are on the board, but they trail 13-7. 2 minutes later, Chicago has the ball again, and Brown puts them on the move with a 19-yard completion to Jim Dooley. Chicago is showing new life, and Rick Casares oozes energy as he jolts the Colts for 12 yards. With 27 seconds left in the first half, the Bears give the ball to Casares, and rugged Rick turns the trick. When Blanda adds the extra point, Chicago caps a great comeback to capture a 14-13 halftime edge. The Colts come on late in the third quarter, and as usual, it's Johnny Unitas leading the way. Alan Amici grabs this screen pass, and the sturdy Steve steps away on a 40-yard stampede. Unitas loves to throw that ball, but when the occasion arises, he can carry it too. And here he goes for a first down on the Bear 25. The Colts trail by 1 point, and a penalty pushes them back. But as fourth period play begins, Unitas and Berry make up the lost yardage with a 14-yard pass. The Bears bring this Baltimore drive to a halt, but when rookie Steve Myra puts his foot into the football for a 41-yard field goal, Baltimore takes over the driver's seat 16-14. The Bears came from behind before, and now they're looking for more. Willie Gallimore starts them on their way. Ed Brown, who engineered 2 touchdown drives, runs into a roadblock here. Milt Davis makes the 5th Baltimore interception and turns it into a 47-yard touchdown, and the Colts give themselves breathing room as they gallop to a 22-14 spread. The Bears are not giving up. They need a victory badly, and Zeke Bratkowski is looking for one with this long-distance aerial. Speedy Willie Gallimore gathers in the pass, and the play covers 75 yards. Chicago rooters are jubilant, but a penalty marker indicates a back-in-motion violation, and this great play is rubbed out. For the Bears, football affairs go from bad to worse. On the next play, Bratkowski is KO'd by 270-pound Art Donovan. Gino the Giant Marchetti wraps himself around the ball in the end zone for a Baltimore score. The Colts are overjoyed as they rally to top the Bears 29-14.
After their win over the Bears, the Colts were tied with the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions for first place in the Western Conference, with a record of 5 wins and 3 losses. The make-or-break game with San Francisco was next on Baltimore's schedule. And here's Chuck Thompson with the highlights of that game.
In a showdown battle for the Western Conference lead, the Baltimore Colts and the San Francisco 49ers, 2 of the 3 teams tied for first place, clash head-on before a howling 50,000 fans at Memorial Stadium. The Colts start dishing up trouble in the second quarter. Lenny Moore gets the ball, and Lightning Len lights out like a frightened fox in a forest fire. The Reading Rocket roars non-stop to a 41-yard touchdown, and Baltimore is on top 7-0. Yale Burton Abraham Tittle, better known to pro football fans as Y.A. and primarily noted for his passing prowess, performs on foot here. Y.A. breaks away for a good gain. This time, Y.A. returns to his specialty, which is passing for points, and Billy Wilson nabs this 19-yard TD toss, and the game is tied at 7-7. The 49ers are out to snap a 2-game losing streak, and Tittle gets them winging again with a pitch to Joe Perry. Tittle's tossing causes the Colts no end of worry. Y.A. gets away another pass that's hauled in by Billy Wilson on the Baltimore 4. Tittle wedges his way into the end zone, and it's the 49ers going to the front by a 14-7 count. Baltimore rebounds. Lenny Moore gets the call and answers with a rapid 22-yard rush. Here's is a play we've never seen before, and evidently the 49ers hadn't seen it either, for it fools them. Unitas takes a cross-field lateral and then passes to Lenny Moore. Moore makes his way to the San Francisco 11 on a 46-yard play. L.G. Dupre, another Colt lightning bolt, deals San Francisco a rude jolt with an 11-yard touchdown birdie. The game is tied at the half. In the third quarter, Baltimore takes the lead. Johnny Unitas passing, L.G. Dupre catching, and it's the screen play working for 16 yards. Baltimore is bottled up, but Steve Myra gives them a boost with a 16-yard boot, and the Colts move ahead 17-14. The prospectors come back to prospect for points on the passing of Y.A. Tittle, but Tittle's toss is a total loss as Patera intercepts, making Baltimore boss on the 49-yard line. The Colts convert the interception into another field goal with Myra again providing the legwork. It's Baltimore 20, San Francisco 14. Fourth quarter now, and here come the 49ers. Y.A. Tittle winds up and whips a 39-yard pass to R.C. Owens. San Francisco's Alphabet Boys move the ball to the Colt 31. Tittle tosses on target again. Gene Babb bags the ball on the Baltimore 16. The 49ers go all the way with Y.A. Tittle as Tittle tallies a touchdown. With 5 minutes to play, San Francisco leads 21-20. Baltimore is 82 yards away from a score, but when Amici grabs a Unitas pass, the Colts are only 60 yards away. Memorial Stadium is no place for a cardiac case as the Colts stage a last-minute rally. Raymond Barry pulls in this pass for a 31-yard gain, and the ball is on the San Francisco 23. With less than a minute remaining, Johnny Unitas throws his 19th touchdown completion of the season. It's a short 8-yarder to Amici and gives the Colts a 27-21 victory over the 49ers.
The Colt win over the 49ers broke the three-way tie in the Western Conference, leaving Baltimore on top of the pack by one full game with 3 games left to play. Next on the schedule was the second half of the West Coast twosome. The Los Angeles Rams, Norm Van Brocklin and company, had experienced an up-and-down season so far, but had proven extremely dangerous on their good days.
Well, Bailey, they were tough, but not quite tough enough, as the Colts proved to the largest crowd ever to see a pro football game in Baltimore history. Early first-period action finds the Colts' Alan Amici on a beautiful draw play, smashing 15 yards to the Rams' 46. John Unitas flips a bullseye to Jim Mutzler for a first down on the Los Angeles 25-yard line. Halfback Lenny Moore goes into action after a key block by Art Spinney. Lenny races all the way for a 23-yard touchdown that puts the Colts in front 7-0. A short time later, the Colts are again in possession. Johnny Unitas nails Raymond Barry with a toss that's good for 11 yards. Sticking to the airways, Unitas rifles another toss to Jim Mutzler for a first down at the 17-yard line. Completing the drive, Unitas keeps the pigskin flying by passing to Lenny Moore in the end zone, and the Colts enjoy a 14-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. In the middle of the second stanza, Baltimore's L.G. Dupre loses the handle, and Larry Morris recovers the fumble to give the Rams possession on the Colt 32. Norm Van Brocklin chucks a 29-yard aerial that connects with Leon Clark in the end zone for a touchdown, and the Rams are back in the ball game but trail 14-7 at the end of the half. In the early moments of the third quarter with the Rams in possession, Norm Van Brocklin passes complete to Elroy Hirsch for a first down at the Colt 38. Van Brocklin continues the barrage by hitting Leon Clark with a 13-yard aerial. Van Brocklin again goes back to pass. Elroy Hirsch is on the receiving end. Laterals to Tom Wilson, and Wilson keeps going to tack up 7 points. A fine comeback by the Rams ties the game at 14-all. Paige Cothran kicks off for the Rams. Johnny Call fields the ball at the 10-yard line. Call dodges and twists 44 yards before he is finally upended at the Ram 46. The Colt attack bogs down on the 36, so Steve Myra splits the uprights with a perfect three-pointer to send the Colts back into the lead, 17-14. With time running out in the quarter, the Rams' Paul Younger is hit hard, fumbles, and the Colts' Milt Davis recovers on the Ram 13. On the first play of the final period, Unitas arches a perfect toss to Raymond Berry in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown, and the Colts increase their lead to a 24-14 count. With 2 minutes remaining in the game, Baltimore is again on the move. Unitas tosses to Berry for a first down on the Colt 36. L.G. Dupre on the draw play goes through the Ram line for another 9 yards. Now Unitas goes to the air. He hits Moore at the Ram 34. Moore shakes off Don Burrows, and he's en route to a touchdown. It's the 22nd touchdown toss of the season for John Unitas, who leads the league in this department. And it's a big 31-14 victory that keeps Baltimore on top of the pack in the Western Conference.
So far in the review of the Colts season, we've shown you game action of the Colts winning, because it's always pleasant to relive the ones you won. But at this point, we're going to look at the big one they didn't win. The Colts traveled to the West Coast with all the blue chips on the line. 1 victory would assure them of a tie. 2 wins would give them their first title. But things were not destined to go their way. Our play-by-play sportscaster Joe Krogan traveled to the West Coast along with Chuck Thompson to bring the game back to all Colt fans.
For a while, it looked like we were going to broadcast good news, but not so. For in the showdown battle between the first-place Colts and the second-place 49ers, a turnaway throng of 60,000 packed San Francisco's Kezar Stadium to root for the Bay Area team. If the 49ers can take this one, they'll be in a 3-way tie for first place in the West. A Tittle to Wilson pass gets them on their way, and look at that second effort. The sturdy steeds from Baltimore put the pressure on Tittle, but Y.A. gets a pass away. It's intercepted, but the officials detect interference, and San Francisco is on the Baltimore 1. Gene Babb batters the left side to score standing up, and the Prospectors take a 7-0 first quarter lead. The 49ers threaten again in the second period, but Y.A. Tittle tosses a boomerang. Milt Davis snaps up the ball for Baltimore and bolts upfield. The last man can't catch him, and Milt makes it all the way for a 75-yard touchdown. The conversion attempt is blocked, and San Francisco still leads at 7-6. Baltimore can cinch a tie for the title, and the Colts go all out. Lenny Moore is off and running with a Unitas pass. Moore fumbles, and Bill Stitz recovers for San Francisco. The Prospectors push into Baltimore territory, and Y.A. Tittle looks for a receiver. He can't find one, but he does find running room and racks up a 20-yard gain. Tittle finds the mark this time as he shoots one over the middle to Hugh McElhenney. The Colts turn back the Prospectors at the 9, but Gordy Saltaw swings his leg and boosts the 49ers lead to 10-6 at halftime. Third quarter with Tittle tossing for San Francisco. Once again, Hugh McElhenney is victimized as Milt Davis comes up with another interception to give Baltimore the ball. The Colts don't fool around this time. Johnny Unitas cranks up and hoists a handsome heave 42 yards upfield. Lenny Moore is behind his man to pull it in and scamper to the end zone 82 yards and a touchdown as Baltimore pulls into the lead over the Prospectors at 13-10. That lead is still good late in the final period when the 49ers begin their final fling with Tittle passing to Billy Wilson on the Colt 48. The 49ers have pulled 4 out of the fire this season, and Tittle takes aim on number 5. McElhenney has his pass, and Hurricane Hugh blows by the Colts for 43 yards. There are 47 seconds left as John Brody replaces the injured Tittle. Brody's pass is letter perfect, and McElhenney hauls it in to overcome the Colts 17-13 in a heartbreaking finish. The Colts, again in a 3-way tie for the Western Conference lead, travel to Los Angeles, where the Rams lived up to their spoiler reputation and came through with a 37-21 win, knocking the Colts out of title contention.
The season's over. The final game has been played. Baltimore was not destined to win the championship this year. But here was a team that played far beyond expectations. Picked for last place, they were in contention until the final Sunday. A great effort by a great bunch of athletes. Next year, who knows? Artie Donovan, Art Spinney, Jim Parker, L.G. Dupre, Jack Patera, Raymond Berry, Alex Sandusky, and the rest of the Colts will again be shooting for that Pro Football Championship. And we'll be rooting for them along with you. You can help root the Colts home next season by getting your season tickets early. Season ticket prices are $21, $24, and $30. Individual game tickets, if you prefer to buy them that way, are $4 and $5. Either way, be on hand to cheer the Colts in person next season. National Bohemian Beer has been glad to present the Fighting Colt.
The Baltimore Colt game for National Beer from the Chesapeake Bay, the land of pleasant living, for the past 5 years. Film of the most exciting games, the most thrilling plays of the season, is the latest in our series of Colt films. And I think you'll agree it's one of the best. Now, this film is available to groups and organizations. And if you'd like to arrange for a showing, contact the National Brewing Company, Baltimore, Orlando, or Detroit, or the National Beer Distributor in your area. And now, let's meet the 59 Colts.
These are the men who wouldn't be denied. These are the members of the 1959 Baltimore Colt football team, the team that seemed all washed up at midseason, but who, from flat on their backs, started a thrilling 5-game winning streak that proved beyond all doubt that they were world champions. But let's start at the beginning. The season opened on a high note when the Colts played host to the Detroit Lions. The Lions, although not rated as championship contenders, were always dangerous. And the Colts came on the field a determined football team. Now here's National Beer's play-by-play announcer, Chuck Thompson, to describe the action in the Colts opener against the Lions.
Lions take control late in the first period with veteran fullback John Henry Johnson galloping wide to the left and charging all the way to the Colt 29 on a 31-yard play. The massive Colt line slows the Lions, but Jim Martin's fourth down field goal puts Detroit in order. In the second half, Rote returns to the passing game with devastating results. Hopalong Cassidy gets loose in time to snag the pass for a 37-yard play that makes it goal to go for the Lions. Dan Lewis cuts back over tackle and slants into the end zone for the first touchdown of the game. It's to a 9-0 margin over the champions. It's time for the Colts to get to work, and they know it. Unitas tosses to Alan Amici. Amici fumbles at the 30, but Lenny Moore lopes in to recover and carry to the Detroit 22. Watch in slow motion as the Colts try more at the running game. Lenny finds an opening in the Lion line and filters through for 8 yards. With the goal line just 1 yard away, Amici turns on the power and blasts through for the touchdown. The Lion lead narrows to 9-7. The Detroit team can't gain against the devastating Colt defense, and Baltimore moves as Unitas calls for a long pass. Jim Mutzler has to really reach, but he hangs on for a 34-yard gain. The Colts keep the Lions off his back as Johnny Unitas coolly fires a touchdown strike to Raymond Berry. The Colts lead 14-9, and Unitas has now passed for a touchdown in 26 straight games. The Colts want to lengthen their lead, and Unitas knows just how to do it. He zeroes in on Jim Mutzler. Big Jim has it in the end zone for the final TD of the game as the Colts get off to a flying start in their drive to repeat as world champions by defeating Detroit 21-9. The Colts dropped their second game to the title-hungry Chicago Bears, 26-21. But followed with a victory when they stopped the Lions again in Detroit, 31-24. Now the Colts are in Chicago for a showdown battle with the Bears. The Bears are the only team that has managed to down the Colts thus far in league play, and the world champions are determined not to let it happen again. The Colts take the initiative in the first quarter. Johnny Unitas lobs a short pass to Dupre, and LG dodges down the sideline for a nice 18-yard gain. The Colts give Unitas good protection, and he pegs out to Lenny Moore. Lenny tries to fake his way past two Bear defenders, but they nail him on the Chicago 29. Unitas calls for the same play. Lenny is loose and takes the ball on the run to tear off another 14-yard gain. Alan the Horse Amici runs right over everybody, including his own blocker, to chalk up the first score of the game as Baltimore leads the Bears 7-0. The Bears come out snarling for the second half. Zeke Bratkowski puts teeth into their offense with a perfect pass to Willard Duval, who bites off a few yards of his own on a 36-yard play. With the ball on the Colt 30, Bratkowski pitches out to Willie Gallimore, and Willie wheels through the Baltimore defenders on a weaving 30-yard touchdown run. The Chicago Bears tie it up at 7-7. On the final play of the third quarter, Unitas has the Colts cantering downfield. Lenny Moore takes his pass and lands head first on the Bears' 36. Unitas opens the final period by passing down and out to Moore, who makes the catch draped over the shoulder of Vic Zucco. Lenny Moore manages to be where the Bears aren't for the third straight time. Touchdown Colts. Baltimore breaks the tie to lead 14-7. Down by 7, the Bears are throwing on every play. Don Shinnick puts a stop to that as he intercepts, and with fine blocking by Milt Davis and Dick Szymanski, gallops to the Chicago 14. Unitas and Dupre show the Bears how it's done with a scoring pass from the 1. The final touchdown comes with 55 seconds left in the game as Baltimore defeats Chicago 21-7. The
Colts' next opponent was the Green Bay Packers, who had gotten off to a flying start and were tied for the league lead at this stage of the game. But the champions had too many horses for the men from Green Bay and came out on top 38-21. The next visitors to Baltimore Stadium were the Cleveland Browns, featuring fullback Jimmy Brown and company. The Browns, Jimmy and the team, took a liking to the turf at Memorial Stadium and handed the Colts their second setback of the 59 season, 38-31. If there was a low spot in the 1959 season for the Baltimore Colts, this was it. The heavily favored Colts just couldn't get rolling, and the fired-up Redskins pulled a surprise 27-24 victory out of the hat. The Colts had now lost 3 games while winning 4, and their hopes for a second title were dim, to say the least. The chips were down as they traveled to Milwaukee for a return match with the contending Green Bay Packers. Early in the game, Bart Starr throws a flare pass to Paul Hornung. The ball bounces free, and Gene Lipscomb picks it off, starting a tremendous saga that henceforth shall be known as the return of Big Daddy Lipscomb. 45 yards down the sidelines until knocked out on the 15. The Colts attempt a bit of trickery as Raymond Brown passes on a fake field goal, but Emlyn Tunnell breaks up the effort. Near the end of the first quarter, the Colts are down by 3 as Unitas hits Berry for the first down on the Packer 26. Lenny Moore takes a handoff from Unitas. As the hard-hitting Colt offensive line opens the way, Lenny streaks through Green Bay to go 26 yards for a score. The Colts are ahead after the first quarter, 7-3. The Colts start another drive as Unitas stays in the pocket behind perfect blocking. Johnny fires out to the right flat to Lenny Moore. Lenny keeps his balance and almost gets away as he carries to the Packer 42. Unitas gets plenty of time again as he fakes once, then hits Amici swinging around the end. And the big horse rolls for 30 yards before he's tripped up by Hank Greminger. John Unitas keeps his touchdown record going as he hits Raymond Berry in the end zone. Unitas is now thrown for a score in 33 consecutive ball games, and the Colts lead 14-3. The Colts want more as Unitas fakes a draw, then hits Moore on the flare pass. And the elusive Colts slides by the Packers behind good downfield blocking to set up another Colts score. Unitas drops back and looks as Raymond Berry goes down and out. Johnny hangs it up there, and Berry pulls it down for another Colt tally. The Colts are way out in front after 2 quarters, 21-3. In the third period, Packer back Jim Taylor takes a pitch out and follows his guard, Jerry Kramer, around right end. Taylor turns the corner and sprints to the 4-yard line. Taylor now finishes the job as he slides off and goes in for Green Bay. The Packers now trail 21-10. Bart Starr is doing more damage to the Colts. He drops back and hits Taylor over the middle. Big Jim, a 210-pounder from LSU, knows the way as he barrels into the end zone, and Packer fans go wild as their boys are close at 21-17. The Packers have more in store for Baltimore. Paul Hornung is doing the ball carrying, and what a job Paul does. Hornung goes 63 yards before Andy Nelson can finally catch up. This could be the turning point of the season for the Baltimore Colts as the burly Baltimore defensive unit has to dig in. Starr tries a pass on third down, but Gino Marchetti is on him like a cat. And with the other Colt linemen rushing in, Starr tries to run, but Marchetti has him for a loss. Hornung tries a 22-yard placement, but it's off the mark, and the Colts still lead 21-17. Unitas knows he's not safe with a short lead. He hits Jim Mutchler on the dead run, and the rugged Colt wingman races to complete a 30-yard gain as the third quarter ends. In the fourth quarter, Unitas dodges Henry Jordan and again fires to Mutchler. Jim won't stop until he's in the end zone, and the Colts increase their lead to 28-17. Bart Starr keeps his Packers on the track as he drops back to pass. Starr can't find a receiver, so he keeps himself on a nifty run to the Colt 11. Jim Taylor finishes the scoring as he bolts over from 3 yards out. The Baltimore Colts take an exciting 28-24 decision to move within 1 game of first place and stay in contention in that hot Western Conference race.
Next on the schedule were the league-leading San Francisco 49ers. If the Colts were to repeat as champions, this was the game they would have to win. A win here means a tie for first place. The fourth sellout crowd of the season is on hand to cheer the Colts. In the second quarter, Unitas gives off to Moore. Lenny passes downfield to Jerry Richardson, and the Colts are on the way. A penalty puts the ball in the one, and Unitas takes it over for Baltimore's first score, and the Colts lead the Prospectors 7-0. Moments later, the 49ers are deep in their own territory, but not for long. Y.A. Tittle throws to Hugh McElhenney on the screen. Hugh has blockers aplenty as he takes off through the Colt defenders on one of his electrifying broken field dashes. Hurrying Hugh goes for 72 before the fleet-footed Andy Nelson can corral him on the Colt 12. The Prospector push carries to the 4, and Tittle finds the going easier through the air as he hits Joe Perry with a swing pass. Joe the Jet hits pay dirt for the Prospectors, and they tie it up 7-7. The 49ers high-scoring rookie place kicker Tommy Davis kicks off. Speed merchant Johnny Sample takes it for Baltimore, and Sample breaks loose and scampers away on an 80-yard return. Eddie Duff finally downs him on the San Francisco 13, but that's too close for comfort. A penalty puts Baltimore even closer, and Alan Amici picks up the 6 points as he drives in for the touchdown. Colts 14, 49ers 7. Unitas cashes in on a 49er fumble as he throws his 24th touchdown pass of the year. Raymond Berry is by himself to score, and the Colts have a 14-point margin at halftime, 21-7. The Colts flash their best form of the season in the third quarter. Lenny Moore takes a flare pass deep into the Prospector claim as he gets to the 21. The Colts are hard to stop when they get this close, and the slow-motion camera shows why. Lenny Moore executes a breakout pattern to perfection. Unitas gives Lenny just the right lead, and Moore pulls it in for the touchdown, and Baltimore now leads San Francisco 28-7. As the final quarter starts, it's 28-14, but Baltimore is attacking again. Mike Summers slams to a Colt first down in 49er territory. With the ball on the 49er 31, gets set for a spectacular demonstration of Lenny Moore's running ability as he turns in one of the strangest gallops of the year. Lenny is hemmed in and gets turned around. As we stop the action, it looks impossible for Moore to get much further. But let's watch what happens. Lenny's strategic retreat makes it 35-14 Colts. The Hosses refuse to let up late in the game. Rookie Hal Lewis takes the Unitas toss, and the halfback from the University of Houston winds up inside the 49er 5. Amici gets his second touchdown of the fray, and the Baltimore Colts add a field goal to startle the 49ers of San Francisco with a 45-14 mastery that moves them into a first-place tie in the Western Conference. The Colts took the Los Angeles Rams in stride at Memorial Stadium, 35-21. They were still tied for first place with the 49ers as they moved into San Francisco's Kezar Stadium. This is the one that they've been waiting for in the Golden Gate City. Today's winner takes over first place in the Western Conference and clinches a tie for the title. The Colts move early in the game. Moore catches a look-in pass from Unitas and fights for the Colt 45. Unitas drops back, fakes a short one, and then hits Moore in the right flat, and Lenny's forward progress is stopped on the 49er 23. Unitas goes back behind his stone wall and hits Amici swinging around the end, and the horse pulls it in as the Colts kick up their heels. Unitas goes back to pass and then calmly fires to Berry on the button hook, and the Colts have a touchdown. Johnny is now thrown for a score in 36 consecutive games as the Colts lead 7-0. It's the second quarter with John Brody guiding the 49ers. Milt Davis intercepts Brody's pass, and the alert Colt hops to his feet and follows linebacker Bill Pellington. Milt cuts across field, dodging Bob St. Clair and picking up a wave of blockers led by Andy Nelson. Milt races all the way for a 57-yard touchdown. The Colts, who have never beaten the 49ers on the coast, now lead 14-0. The 49ers know that they must fight back quickly, and J.D. Smith seemingly gets buried by the Colt line But Smith gets free, and J.D. jets away, and nobody can catch up as he sprints 66 yards for a touchdown, and the 49ers move close, 14-7. In the third quarter, Brody backpedals to pass. He fires, but Don Shinnick intercepts for Baltimore, and the Husky linebacker from UCLA returns to the San Francisco 32. The Colts are threatening as Unitas fades again. Johnny fires a high pass, and Raymond Berry goes up to pull it down on the Prospector 12. Unitas is playing and calling a nearly perfect game. John can't find a receiver, but he does spot some running room and streaks past the bewildered Prospectors to score. The 49ers block the kick and then rally to make it 20-14 going into the final period. But the Colts came west to win. Unitas pitches, and Raymond Berry makes an unbelievable leaping turn to snare it for his second touchdown. It's 27-14, and Unitas has equaled Sid Luckman's record with 28 touchdown passes in one season. The 49er ace Y.A. Tittle enters the game. Y.A. has led his team out of the depths many times, but Don Shinnick scuttles Prospector hopes with his second vital interception. Unitas passes to Moore. Dave Baker goes for the ball and misses, and that opens the gates for Lenny Moore to make the catch. Not even speedy Eddie Dove can catch Lightning Lenny as he romps home to give the Colts an exciting 34-14 win over the 49ers. This scoring pass by Unitas, his 29th, sets a new record for touchdown passes in a single season. No let-up on the pressure on the Baltimore Colts. To be assured of a Western Conference title, they had to win or tie in Los Angeles or face the prospect of a playoff with the fast-moving Chicago Bears and the still dangerous 49ers. Leading 3-0, the Rams move behind Billy Wade. Billy hits John Arnett on the 39, and John gets turned around but keeps his balance to rip off a 33-yard gain. Marconi bangs across from close range, and an upset could be in the air. The Rams hold a 10-point lead. Great blocking by Spinney and Freeze opens the gates for Mike Summer, and the former George Washington speed merchant pours it on as he stampedes 53 yards for a Colt touchdown to make it 10-7 at the end of the first period. Stretch their lead to 13-7, but Johnny Unitas makes it 37 games in a row in which he has thrown a touchdown pass as Raymond Berry makes a spectacular reception, and the Colts go ahead 14-13. The teams trade field goals, and it's 17-16 Colts when Bill Wade has a short pass pilfered by Bill Pellington. Gino Marchetti streaks in to provide a slashing block, and Pellington races to the Ram 11. Unitas fakes to Pricer and hits Berry right under the goalpost as the Colts pull out to a 24-16 lead. The Rams keep trying. John Arnett seems to be headed for a loss as he comes wide, but a right-angle turn at full speed sets Arnett free, and John waltzes in on a 27-yard masterpiece. The Rams are just 1 point back, 24-23. Strike again as Wade hits his freewheeling halfback Arnett, and Arnett gets to the Colt 26. The Colts tighten their defense, so Lou Michaels hits on his fourth field goal of the game, and the Rams take a third period advantage 26-24. Baltimore opens the fateful fourth quarter as Unitas hits Lenny Moore for a first down in Ram territory. The Colts work their way goalward, and Unitas brings them in as he hooks up with Jerry Richardson to put them ahead 31-26. Baltimore puts the pressure on Billy Wade. Dick Szymanski grabs the 40th Colt interception of the year and races 15 yards for another score. The Colts lead 38-26 as Szymanski gets a big hand from a jubilant Don Shinnick. The Colts' tremendous defensive unit forces the Rams' Lou Michaels to try his fifth three-pointer of the day. The line drive kick is short, and Carl Tassett tries to run it back. Tassett zigs and zags and stutters briefly, then eludes 8 Rams in the first 15 yards and breaks into the clear. The veteran Colt defender picks up a convoy as he goes 99 yards for the final touchdown and one of the most spectacular runs of the year. Their 45-26 victory gives the Baltimore Colts the Western Conference Championship and the right to meet the Giants for the world title for the second consecutive year.
Well, the Colts did it. They racked up 5 straight wins to bring home to Baltimore their second consecutive Western Conference title. A lot of the experts had written the Colts off in mid-season. But now the Colts proved what champions are made of. Before we go to the film of the World Championship game between the Baltimore Colts and the New York Giants, here is Chuck Thompson to show in stop-motion photography some of the outstanding plays of the Colts' 1959 season.
Thank you, Bailey. Now, fans, these are just some of the plays that show the determination and the extra effort that enabled the Colts to repeat as world champions. You heard Bailey mention the fact the Colts had lost 2 in a row to the Browns and to the Redskins. Then they journeyed to Milwaukee and enjoyed a 21-17 lead over the Packers late in the third quarter. But suddenly the Packers were down on the Colt 8-yard line. We would like to take you to Milwaukee now and show you this extra effort play on the part of the Colts defensive line. The Green Bay quarterback, Bart Starr, fades back to throw. Gino Marchetti rushes by his would-be blockers. And now let's stop the film and show you that extra effort. Notice that Bracey, Lipscomb, and Ray Krause are all up in the air blocking the line of flight of that pass. The result? See for yourself. For our second outstanding play demonstrating extra effort, we've selected that same ball game, the Colts against the Packers in Milwaukee. The Colts enjoyed a 21-17 lead early in the fourth quarter when John Unitas hooked up with Jimmy Mutchler on a pass completion that really called for extra effort. And now let's go back to Milwaukee once again and show you this play. Unitas fades back to pass and now fires downfield where Jimmy Mutchler is waiting inside the Green Bay 10. And right here, we're going to stop our film to show you that extra effort. You'll notice that Jesse Whitten, number 47, comes over and puts on what appears to be a clinching block on Jim Mutchler. But watch what Mutchler does. For another of the outstanding plays of the year, we've selected one that occurred in the game between the Baltimore Colts and the Los Angeles Rams in that great big Coliseum out in California. At about the end of the first quarter, the Rams enjoyed a 10-0 lead over the Baltimore Colts, and the Colts were in possession at their own 47-yard line. Now, in this particular play, we'll call your attention to the blocking of that Baltimore Colt line. So right now, let's go out to the Coliseum in California for this outstanding play. Unitas calls for a running play. He hands off to Mike Summer, and now we stop the action. Art Spinney has thrown a wonderful block. Spinney, number 63, blocking on Lamar Lundy, number 85. And notice the awfully fine block on the part of George Priest, big number 60. And the result? Well, for the Rams, you might say that Summer went by in a great big hurry.
Chuck, will you ever forget the title fever that was present among the Colts fans the week before and right up to the kickoff of the championship game with the Giants?
Oh, never, 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 Bailey. Of course, it was the first championship game to be played in Baltimore, and those famous Colt rooters, man, they lived up to their reputation. And so did the world champion Colts. This is the big one, the rematch of the game that was called the greatest ever. The experts feel that the Giants have improved over last year, but the Colts are still considered to be the team to beat. As the confident Giants take the field, experts and just plain fans fill every seat in Memorial Stadium. The Colts strike like lightning in the first quarter. Unitas is looking out to the left, but suddenly spots Moore cutting for the center of the field. Johnny's pass is perfectly placed, and Lenny is already behind Lyndon Crow. Nobody's going to catch Moore as he lopes to a 60-yard touchdown, and the Colts take a quick 7-0 lead over New York. The Colts are expecting a pass as the Giants try to retaliate, but Connolly crosses them up. He works the draw with Mel Triplett, and Triplett chugs up the middle and travels all the way to the 16 before the Colts can stop him. The rock-ribbed Colt defense won't yield a touchdown, but the Giants get 3 points as Pat Summerall kicks a 23-yard field goal, and the score reads Baltimore 7, New York 3. There are less than 2 minutes left in the half as Connolly goes for the long play with a pitch upfield. Bob Schnelker outleads Carl Tassif to make a beautiful catch and lopes to the Colt 34. It's a 48-yard gain. With 11 seconds left, Pat Summerall boots from the 37. Referee Ron Gibbs signals a field goal, but the Colts protest. Gibbs checks with Charlie Sweeney, the back judge, who was standing in the end zone, and Sweeney confirms his decision. Gino Marchetti's oratory can't change anything, and at halftime, only 1 point separates the two teams as the Colts lead 7-6. Giants with the ball in the third quarter. Terrific pressure by Donovan forces Connerly to throw quickly, but Snelker makes a great diving catch and rolls to the Colts 26. 3rd and 10 from the 15 as the Giants close in and the slow-motion camera rolls. Connerly's pass is aimed for Frank Gifford, and Gifford thinks he has it. Until Johnny Sample comes from out of nowhere to make a sensational save. With 4th and 10, the stage is set for Pat Summerall. Pat provides a perfect placement, and the Giants lead. They still haven't crossed the Colt goal line. But the Giants lead 9-7. This is the key play. The Giants have a 4th down with a foot to go. Webster goes straight ahead and drives for all he's worth, but the Colts put up a solid wall. Here comes the chain gang, and it's going to be awfully close. This could mean the ball game. Baltimore has held. Baltimore takes charge in the passing of Unitas. Lenny Moore is the receiver, and he makes a fast getaway. Lenny is out in the open, but Dick Lynch pulls him down from behind after a 36-yard gain. With goal to go, Unitas fools the Giants completely. He rolls out and dodges into the end zone, standing up to get the lead back for Baltimore. It's 14-9. The Giants are forced into a dangerous game as they go for the big play in an attempt to get the lead back. Connerly throws upfield from his goal line, but Andy Nelson intercepts for the Colts. New York is in a precarious position now as Andy returns to the 14. The slow-motion camera rolls as Unitas gets set to pass. Big Jim Parker fences out Andy Robustelli while Unitas waits for Jerry Richardson to get free. Unitas throws, and Richardson has it to scamper across for another Colt tally. Colts 21, Giants 9. It's 3rd and 12 for the Giants in the final period, and Connerly has to go for the big play again. It turns out to be a big play for the Colts as Johnny Sample intercepts and sprints down the sideline to make his way across for a Baltimore touchdown. Daddy Lipscomb congratulates Sample as they leave the field. It's 28-9. After the kickoff, the New Yorkers try a little trickery as Connerly races back, then laterals to Frank Gifford. Gifford aims for Snelker, but Johnny Sample makes his second sensational interception. Sample returns all the way to the New York 26. The Giant defense is 34 points in the final period to take a 31-9 lead. The Giants push over a final second tally, but the victory belongs to Baltimore. Delirious Colt fans swarm onto the field to celebrate as Jim Lee Howell congratulates Reeve Eubank. The steel goalposts are set in concrete, but the Baltimore Rooters bring them down just as the Colts down the Giants. The final score is 31-16 as the Baltimore Colts earn their second straight World Championship.
Yes, the Baltimore Colts are the world champions 2 years in a row. But we're looking forward to even a greater season coming up. Now, to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the fun, get your season tickets early. The 59 Colts has been another National Bohemian Bear sports presentation.